Hello everyone, Ragewood here, back with another Godforge video. Now this is a bit of a fun one today. Recently, we've been getting a look at some of the stats on some of the heroes. Now these might be placeholder, but looking through it, there aren't too many that are exactly the same across the entire board, which makes me think perhaps they are here to stay. Which begs the question, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fastest of them all? So without further ado, let's get into it. So, in a lot of gacha games, speed is king. No matter how many times people try to develop and innovate, we tend to end up in some form of speed meta, which means speed is very important. So having a good base speed will allow you to build up higher and faster speeds as you progress. Now, starting at the bottom here, all the way to the person in number 1, there is actually a speed difference of 22, which is quite a lot in the grand scheme of things. It will make it much easier to build faster on some of these heroes. And the faster ones are not all legendary, interestingly enough, as well. So I'm excited to dip into that with you all today. But one thing that Fateless have done different, and we're not entirely sure how it works for everyone yet, is the ultimate gauge, or the ultimate meter, your ultimate ability, whatever it's called. Now, there is a belief that the initiative statistic that we see here determines how fast your ultimate gauge charges passively, but we do know that Slayers will gain divinity increase through killing things and doing damage. Defenders might have another way. Invokers might get it via buffs and things like that. All of that is still shrouded in secrecy, so I'm going to park that to one side for now. So starting off with our slow boy here, the Minotaur, with a speed of 81. Now again, this may change as things progress, but for now, he is the slowest that we have seen. Now hopefully this means that he hits hard, although an attack of 92 doesn't really serve well either, considering what we're going to see later on. But he is a rare though, so his stats will naturally be a little bit lower. The thing that sticks out to me is a base resistance of 75, so perhaps he's going to be just a meat shield. He is a brawler, so that is sort of, I guess, how they've designed him. But yeah, the slowest boy is Minotaur. Next we come to Lagertha with an incredible 2 speed more. So, yeah, she's going to be very much like the Minotaur. Again, she's got what seems to be a reasonably high base resistance, and she's even got more HP than the Minotaur as well, with 2000, and a lot more base defense. But she is a defender, so she is going to be perhaps putting out ally protects, damage redirections, some intercepts, something like that, to justify the increase in defense. But she's not the only one with a base speed of 83. We have Gilgamesh here as well. So 83, much more HP this time round, even though the defense and resistance is a little bit lower. So very similar stat line to the Minotaur, only we do have a lot more health. Flying into 84 is the Valkyrie. 85 then, the Brazilian archer. Now Icarus, another 85 speed character with a base attack of 130. So we've seen that cool animation recently. This guy is looking sweet. And he's got a higher base attack than what we've seen so far. Obviously leaning into that Slayer archetype that he has been given. The Nemean Lion, 86 speed, so one higher. The Berserker is another hero with 86 speed. And Vidar then, the Silent Avenger, 87 speed. King Tut, so Vidar was the only one with 87 speed. King Tut, 88 here. And again, with even higher attack than Icarus. Now, how much he has gained in those 4 levels, don't know. But it's interesting to see, say, these attack stat lines, even amongst the same rarities, fluctuating a lot, which is going to give us a lot of variety when it comes to building them. Then our first legendary, the Count Dracula himself, is here with 88 speed. Asag, 89. The Grotesque Golem, another brawler. When you're built like that, you know, it's understandable that you're not going to be the fastest moving guy. Volkadlak, another 89. We've actually got 3 or 4 with this 89 speed before we break into the 90 threshold. Interesting though, so level 1, both brawlers. He's got 11 more attack than Volkadlak. He has 2 more defense than Volkadlak. Same speed. Is he just a weaker hero overall? And someone like Asag here, you know, is just a better rare. We all know these games in Raid. Kyle, for example, is arguably one of the better rares. Whereas you look at, I don't know, trying to think of a bad rare now. Wretch, I think he's a rare, a Void Undead rare. No one uses him anywhere, really. So you're always going to get that in these games here. So perhaps Asag is just a better rare overall. One other thing we don't know yet either is whether body types come into it as well. We know giant rigs or giant models are going to be a thing. We know that there's going to be dragons as well. Are these larger models naturally going to have more HP? Are they going to have a weaker defense because they are massive units and easy to hit thematically? Again, that's something else we don't know, but it could play a factor. But yeah, Volkadlak seems very middling at a glance, especially when you compare it to someone like Asag. Shinigami, another rare that we've only just seen recently. He has that massive scythe, which is playing a big role here. He is a slayer, and we've got 130 attacks, similar to Icarus. 89 speed once again, and sort of middling everywhere else. But as you can see, we have very similar stats in things like resistance and accuracy, but they're not exactly the same, which is what makes me think perhaps this might be more final than we think initially. The first epic of the 89s, it is Leonidas. Almost 2k HP now, so compared to some of these other ones, I mean, Asag's still got a lot more HP. So it's interesting. Asag has more HP, he has less base attack, and sorry if I'm giving you epileptic fits. It's the defense, actually, that really sticks out here. The base defense of Asag is a lot lower than Leonidas, so that's where this sort of epic tier is coming into play here at a glance. And then lastly, Ra is level 10. So again, something else to consider. They're not all base level ones. I have no control over that. These are just screenshots that I've taken. So there's going to be some fluctuation here in the stats as well. But very much way better, looks like stat-wise, even over Dracula. 300 attack, 200 defense here. Now, I'm not sure what they're going to be flat, whether they're going to be more similar to with Dracula. But as Ra is a slayer, you would presume that the attack is naturally much higher. Also, his initiative is 100. We've not seen anyone else, I think, anywhere near 100 so far. Everyone else very much beneath that. So again, whether that is a stat that increases in leveling, or whether there is actually some gear on Ra here, we don't know. But looks like he's going to be a powerhouse in Godforge. Stepping into the 90s then. We all love the 90s. It was one of the best eras for music. No one can tell me I'm wrong. Hippolyta here, the Amazonian queen. With 90 speed, she is a defender, quite obviously from here. Then Maria Marevna, a recent reveal to us, on 91. Unk Hessenemann also on 91 speed. Horus also 91, level 1. Composite Bowman 92, one of the faster commons that we're going to see. Fisher King, another legendary defender that we have here with 92 speed. Lady Zoc, one of the first potential starter heroes. So this is going to give us a good idea on what we're going to be getting at to begin with. Now, if you're wondering where I'm getting the whole starter hero vibe from, do check out my video down. I'll put a card somewhere around here so you can go watch that. A lot of us CCs believe Lady Zoc to be one of the 3 now, and this is where the Fateless team are just doing a massive wool over our eyes. But these are the sort of stats that we're going to expect to see potentially from our starter heroes. Skadi, also 93, also a rare disruptor. Green Knight coming in here, also in 93 speed. King Arthur, one of the OGs. Joining him on 94 speed is Hercules. Nubian Warrior, so an uncommon coming in towards the top end here. Oda Nobunaga. Now, I didn't take this screenshot, this is an older one. Also 95 speed for a Void Legendary. So we've got an uncommon and a Void Legendary with the same base speed. Hell, another hero here with 95 speed. She is a Slayer, but again, her attack is lower than some of the other heroes that we have seen. Icarus again being a standout with 130. Icarus could be a sleeper. Anubis, then another brawler, but again with way higher stats than Hell. They're both the same affinity. He is just a brawler, and even as a brawler at level 1, he's got a higher base attack, higher base defense, obviously way more HP. So again, Hell might not be as great as some of the others. She's definitely pretty, but good looks can't get you everywhere. Bastet, 96. 130 attack. Again, Icarus just seems to absolutely slap with his attack, because they're both Slayers, but she's an epic. Beowulf, Void character here. Bit more attack, bit more defense, a lot more initiative here, so if that is the ult meter charge, that's going to be playing a role here. Isis, another legendary here. Invoker, so she's going to have less HP and things like that, but again, our second 100 initiative here. Shamash, 97, another Invoker here, but way less HP, a lot more defense. Dagonet with 98. Joker the Fool is going to be disappearing out, as we can see from his kit so far, and potentially just going to be a really good rare to have. Is an army now, like some of the others, she is a work in progress, so these might not stay the same. She might not be a Wisdom, she might not be Disruptor, and the stats could change, but from what we see, she does have 98 speed. Isolde, another recent reveal to us with 100 base speed. So she is in triple figures. She is the first one here. Pandora, the fastest epic we have seen. Aphrodite, our second fastest hero shown to us so far. Now, interesting, her kit does revolve around placing some control effects, so her accuracy is really low, considering she might be placing stun, but I remember seeing something about if her resistance was higher, it would increase her accuracy, or something like that. I'll try and pull it up here just whilst I'm chatting, so it might not necessarily be an issue that it is this low. How she's going to gain more speed and ultimate meter will be interesting. My guess is, as an Evoker, we know she places buffs, so she gets an increase of 20, for example, for each level buff she places. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say it increases by 20 for each buff. If she places increased speed for 2 turns, that'll be 2 counts of 20. Perhaps that is something that Invoker's divinity gauge will go by, or how they can increase it outside of the passive game. And then last one then, the fastest hero so far is Freya. Those wings obviously putting in a lot of work here. She has 103 speed. Again, as a disruptor, accuracy is quite low, so might be something we're going to have to put a bit of work in here. Almost at 100 initiative, so initiative is a little bit lower than Aphrodite's for that 1 extra speed. Anyway, that is it for today's video. It's just a fun little one to see who is the fastest so far, and Freya obviously claims that title. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, look after yourselves, work hard, but as always, play harder, and I'll see you in another one soon. Cheers.